everyone, this is Jessica Matheney. A while back, I made a post asking you guys if you had any questions that you would like me to answer. So for this video, I'm going to be answering those questions. And if you're new here on this channel, I offer drawing tips and tutorials for colored pencil, graphite, and soft pastel. Now, let's get into the questions. So I've got my phone here so that I can read your questions and go ahead and answer them. Kendra Van Wessemel says, can you combine wax and oil-based pencils? Is there a specific order? So the answer is yes, you actually can use both oil and wax-based colored pencils intermittently with each other. It gives you a bit of a benefit with doing that as well. So the benefit to doing that is that you can actually get more layers alternating between the two than you could if you just use one or the other. And this really comes more in handy when you're using oil-based colored pencils, and then add in some wax-based pencils with that, because the wax-based pencils are a little more opaque and a thicker type of pencil than a regular oil-based one. So you'll be able to build up your layers a little better with your oil pencils with using a little bit of wax pencils as well. All right, so next is Paradoxical Protagonist. Is there any advantage of using heavy body mechanical pencils instead of their lighter weight counterpart? It seems heavy body mechanical pencils are much more easy to handle while doing spider grip detailing. So really, I don't think that there's much advantage to using a heavier bodied mechanical pencil versus a light one, because realistically, in my experience, I do a lot of drawings. I spend a lot of hours drawing every day, and so it does kind of make my hand tired already as it is. And if I was using a heavier pencil, that's a little bit more work to try and maneuver around to do what I need to do with it. So I would think that using a lighter weight pencil is going to be much easier on your hand than using something heavier, if that makes sense. And really, when it comes down to it, you need to pick a pencil that you think is going to work best for you in the comfort of the grip that the pencil offers, because a lot of pencils have different grips. Now, when it comes to drawing, really the better grips that you can get are the hard ones. The soft gel ones aren't going to work so great. Now, just in my experience, the gel ones are going to be a little bit harder for you to try and maneuver to get them to do what you want to do. And then there's the fact that they tend to wear out faster and can crumble and fall apart. So really, I don't think that you're getting your money's worth out of using a gel hand grip versus a regular hard one. Personally, I prefer the hard ones, even though you think about long time drawing and how it might make your hand feel tired and more in pain. But really, I feel like I have way more control over using a harder grip one versus a gel. All right, so next we have Nicole Rezhmankova. Correct me if I'm saying that wrong. She says, how long have you been drawing? The answer is that I've actually been drawing my whole life. I stopped for about 10 years or so, and then I got back into it in about 2018. And primarily before then, I was just doing graphite drawings, and about when 2018 was, when I started getting back into drawing, is when I discovered colored pencils and decided to start trying that out as a medium, and from there I am where I'm at now. So next we have Brian M. says, art style, what is it and how to figure out yours? Personally, I think that this is kind of a tough question, because in my personal opinion, I feel like it takes you quite a number of years to figure out your art style. And really, I think what it boils down to is first trying to figure out what it is that you love drawing the most. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a specific subject, but maybe it's just an overall type of thing that you like to draw. Now, there are lots of different artists with different styles of their own art, especially through history, and I do think it's kind of nice to see other people's art styles. So really, I think like the best thing that you can do for yourself is just try to experiment. I don't mean like experiment in copying what exactly other artists are doing, but just experiment with some of your own ideas for the styles that you want to do. Now, there's different methods in the way to draw. There's different types of like styles for specifically drawings, but overall, as you continue drawing, you're going to end up figuring out what your art style is eventually. It may take some time. I think patience is probably the best thing that you can have until you figure out your official style. Now, if I were to think in terms of my art style, I I go back to doing exactly what I said initially, is that thinking about what you like to draw in general. And I do personally like drawing realism works where I fill out the whole entire canvas. And I like to make it a whole image experience. And I do think that that, from what I figured, is my style. Now, the way I go about drawing is also a part of my style. So in my style, what I prefer doing is I like seeing a lot of details. Now, I don't talk about this much, but I actually have poor distance vision. And so I wear glasses to drive, and that's it, because I can't stand wearing them. Otherwise, other people who wear glasses all the time, I don't know how you can stand it. I can't. I only wear them when I absolutely have to. But I guess maybe that has a hand in why my preferred style is doing a lot of detail, because I like to see all of those details that maybe I can't see normally. So really, at the end of the day, I think what determines your art style is a whole bunch of factors. Kind of what I've talked about already, in the sense that I like a lot of detail, I like whole images, I draw animals for mine, of course. That is, I guess you could say, kind of a part of the style. But then again, I also enjoy the realism of it. So I'm not totally doing fantasy works at this point, although I do love fantasy work, and I do plan on in future branching out into doing a little more fantasy type images. But for the time being, I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing with the realism of my artwork. So really, overall, I think trying to figure out your individual art style, it's going to take time, of course, but you're going to have to experiment with different ways of doing things. What is it that really makes you feel good about your work? It's about finding what you enjoy doing the most with your work that ends up becoming your style. That is all the questions I have for this video. If you would like your questions answered, go ahead and drop a comment below, and I will see you in the next video.